Good morning. Here's an update to my balcony permaculture garden. Quick look at the aquaponics. Stuff's growing pretty well here. Of course the mint really is the best thing that grows here, but there's a few other things now. One tomato plant's growing really well. It's getting quite large, starting to flower. And also an avocado. I just put the pip into the clay balls and germinated, and it's growing up. So at some point I should go and plant that out in the soil somewhere. A few other things growing. The Hong so finally is sort of growing okay now. I can harvest some leaves off it. Cabbages sort of growing okay, but have been attacked by the worms. There's lots of little white moths flying around now and laying their eggs, and then the worms get eating. But actually what I do a lot of the time with the cabbages, because they flower so quickly and not actually produce cabbage or leaves, I just eat the flowers. Just put them in salads. I'd also like to show you one of my neighbours that I can see on his rooftop has made his rooftop into a garden. And one day I should really go and say hello and see what he's doing there. But he did quite a lot of work last summer, putting a fence around it and pots, and yeah, I see him spending a lot of time up there. So yeah, it's quite nice to see. Of course you can see other rooftops completely empty, absorbing sunlight and heat and contributing to the urban island heat effect. So kind of wish that my balcony garden and this guy's balcony garden would promote more people to do the same thing. Also in the background, normally we'd be able to see Taipei 101 kind of behind this top of this triangular pointing building, but a lot of pollution. Pollution's been quite bad in the last few months. It hasn't rained a lot. It's been a very dry winter, and unfortunately a lot of farmers continue to burn, I don't know what they burn, any organic matter. And because Taipei is in the valley, the smoke just comes and sits in the valley, so unfortunately we have this really poor air quality. I showed you this little worm container that I had last time. I just made it mostly with peanut shells, but actually now you can see it's changed colour as the worms are eating organic material and moving it around. I can quickly open it for you and show it to you. I actually quite like this design, and I think I will do this again in the future. It's a very good use of 5-litre water container. I'll show you what it's looking like inside. I've had cardboard on top to cover it, but they've eaten it. Seem to be pretty healthy. There's a banana peel. Lots of worms underneath. I put a lot of worms in this one to get it going, and do very well. I need to feed them some more. So that's a nice way to hang, and there doesn't seem to be much liquid in the bottom, which is good. So it's now late March 2013, and the last video that I did in 2 parts was mostly filmed in November, December. So this is now a few months later. A few things have changed. Some plants have obviously grown quite a bit. As it's now spring, some other things are starting to have leaves on them, like this frangipani here. So soon it will provide some shade underneath and hopefully flower. Still waiting for it to flower. Also, the landlord cut the conifer trees in late December, and that gave more light, but he also cleaned out all the mulch underneath, which was rather annoying. He took the mulch that I had put underneath so I could grow other stuff, took all that away. It doesn't really understand what I was trying to do, and so I've spent the next 3 months now putting it back from whatever sources I can find. I made a little cold frame as an experiment. Just after I'd filmed last time, I didn't get a lot of sun and it was quite cold, so I wanted somewhere to germinate and to grow some stuff. So in here I put a lot of seeds, some pumpkins, and they're growing pretty well. There's some lettuce in there that I've already taken some seedlings out, and I'll leave these ones just to grow, I think. And this was just made using an old window someone has thrown away, and a bit of spare wood, just some screws, some old kitchen cutting boards as well on the front there. Yeah, there's a thrush bird that comes around and kind of scratches in the mulch everywhere, so I had to stop him from getting in there. And what I've tried to do is, underneath the conifers, I've tried to grow non-edibles mostly, just to provide some kind of ground cover so that it doesn't dry out so quick. Hong Fong Sai is really producing well. We are eating out of our garden now maybe 4 or 5 times a week, grabbing a handful of greens, Hong Fong Sai, herbs, basil, even Malabar spinach now is growing quite well. Strawberries are the only disappointing thing really. They've grown well but not really fruited very well. You can see a passion fruit that's taken off. I'm trying to guard it up under the roof and perhaps even across. It will grow across maybe. Go across to these conifers. It'd be quite nice. Maybe it might fruit. I'm only going to be here another 3 months, so might only fruit after I leave. A quick look around the corner, see what's going on around here. Papaya doing quite well. Fennel has grown superb. We eat those leaves every week as well. We just chop them up, put them in whatever we're cooking. Beans are finished. I'm growing some basil seeds in there, so hopefully some basil will come up. Another avocado under here. Not sure if I showed you this basket last time. This is our washing basket. Just filled it with soil and planted into it. Tomatoes growing pretty well in there, and some radish and Hong Fong Sai, and garlic or spring onions. Just showing you the balcony from a different angle here. Of course I move plants around as they need, you know, as I think they need a bit more sun or a bit more shade, I move things around so things are in a different position to what you see from last time. You can see if we can see the fish. The fish are getting quite a lot larger. Shy, camera shy maybe. Oh, there was one. So yeah, they've got a bit bigger, much bigger actually. And all the rockets going to seed now. It's become pretty bitter, hard to eat, but we had 2 months of rocket 3 times a week just from this little container. So I'm going to let it go to seed and try and collect the seeds because it grew really well here. Oh, another one of those white moths. Gonna get a lot of caterpillars, I guess. Some more fennel growing really well there.